Today we're going to talk about how to make Google your best referral partner, and we're actually going to talk about what you said, trust, which is super important. Terry knows a lot about this lately. Basically, let's see, does this work? Okay, am I on the thing? Oh, okay. So how do we make Google our best referral partner? Well, first, like with any referral partner, Google must know what you do. So if you're ever going to refer someone to someone else, you have to know what they do to refer them. Otherwise, you can't, right? And something really important, Google has to trust your business. Same with you. I wouldn't refer Sam to a doctor I know if I really don't trust that doctor, or if I'm not sure he's really that good. The funny thing that even Google works the same, but since it's a big corporation, Google actually has a patent on trust. Oh, no. Not on trust itself, but on trust ranking in the way Google, and they did this in 2006. Incredible. So basically what Google is saying is that if we trust your business or your website, we'll rank you better. We'll show you first. And that's how they do the referring. Like the higher you show up, the better match you are for the person searching for whatever product or service that is. And that's how they reward you. So how do we do this trust thing with them? So first of all, we have to let Google know what we do. That's really important. The way we can do it, that's through our website. And we can do it's called on-page optimization. So your website has, it's not only what you write on it, but it's in the back part of it too, where you have certain things like the title of the website. Usually that's what shows up, and I'll show you an example in a second. When people search, that's what's going to show up there. It also shows up at the tab at the top on your browser. Obviously, you can never read that, it's too short. It should be between 10 and 70 characters. Then you have the meta description, which is what does your company do? And that, again, it's not necessarily on your page, but it's in the back part of your page. That's between 70 and 320. And the third thing is the header tags. Header tags, that's actually visible on your page. And you have a header one, that's the most important thing on the most important title on your page. H2 is the second most important, H3, and so on. There should only be one H1. And the best thing is to have your header 1 tag match your title. That way Google says, oh yeah, okay, I know what they do this, and where they do it. You should have your location there. That's why I was asking you about what cities we want to target. Images,
Do you want us to ask questions on the way?
Sure, no problem. Yeah.
When you say title, are you talking about the company name?
No, it's actually what you want to be known for. So if it would be swimming pool maintenance in Oldsmar swimming pool maintenance. That way, Google, when someone's searching for swimming pool maintenance, and there's a lot of factors that go into like where you're searching from, if you use the city name or not. Like each time it becomes smarter and smarter. So and I'll show you an example of, it knows where you're at when you're searching, and depending on that, it'll show you the closest, best person to work with. But if you don't tell them what you do, then they don't know. And the image it's alternative attributes. Like if you have a picture on your website, there is also an attribute where you can describe what the picture is. Normally we don't put anything there, but you should, because also that helps for handicapped people that have readers and stuff like that. It'll let them know what's there. And obviously, I didn't put it there, I skipped it. Your content is super important because it tells also, they're scanning that too. So that's the title. Like if you search for your business on Google, whatever shows up, the first part is your title. And that doesn't reflect here. And this is the description. So I might not have this blurb of text on my website, but I have it in the code in the back part of my website, and that's going to show up in the results. And sometimes, sometimes there's nothing there. Sometimes there's nonsense there. So it's always good to go back and check out what it is. And here, it's a little complex because you can have your website on WordPress, on Wix, you can have an HTML website, you can have a bunch of things, but basically you need the title tag. In my case, it's Tampa Bay Digital Marketing and the company name. In the description, Epic 180 is Tampa Bay's digital marketing agency. And that's what showing up on here, Tampa Bay Digital Marketing. So that's how Google knows what to pull and show when someone is searching for you and they find the result. Then the heading tag, actually I have the same one, Tampa Bay Digital Marketing Agency. That's my H1. Sometimes people have multiple H1s and that just confuses Google. So you should only have one, one per page. Let's make that clear. I can have one that says Oldsmar Digital Marketing, whatever, but that's going to be a separate page. The title of the page is going to be Oldsmar Digital Marketing. My H1 on that page is going to be Oldsmar. And then you can have H2 and so on and so forth. But that's basically where you have it on the pages. Now, on the trust side, because that's on how they know what you do. On the trust side, how can Google trust you? What are signals that show trust to Google? So one signal is that your website loads fast. That's super important. The other one is that your website displays correctly on a mobile device. Sometimes if you look at a website on the computer, most web design companies design on a computer. That's a given. And they show you the design on a computer, but nowadays 80% of people are searching on their phone. So sometimes what you see is that if it's not optimized, you'll see this big block of text just reduced. It's not like rewritten correctly and you can read it. You actually have to zoom in and then scroll, and so that's not optimized for mobile. Some people say you should have your actually specific mobile page and show it depending on what device someone is using when visiting your website. Your website has to be secure. So when you put your domain name, have you noticed sometimes there's a little, like a padlock at the top? That means there's a certificate of authenticity that says, yes, this website corresponds to the person who owns the domain. And if you're buying something online, let me see if I have it here. No. That's usually, at the top in the URL. If you're buying something online, never enter your credit card information if that padlock isn't there. Or if you get a warning that it's not secure. Your business citations must be accurate. What are citations? There's a bunch of directories online, hundreds of them. So each one of them usually has your business name, your phone number, your address, business name, phone number, and address. And sometimes, for some reason, they have different information, and you want it all to match. Because if these different sites say your business has different phone numbers, different addresses, it's like, is that a real business people are going to? Why is it different here and there? So you want those to be correct. And you want to have incoming links. Incoming links is like other pages pointing to your page, right, that are linking to your page. And if Google looks at your page and says, okay, so the chamber is pointing to this page, this BNI is pointing to this page, this other company is pointing to this page, must be a good company because they're referring people to them. So that's how they are transferring their trust to your page and then to Google.
How do you know? So how would you know if like?
So usually when you search, like here, okay, so I would search for my company. See, the chamber is linking to me.
Okay.
YouTube is linking to me somewhere there.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I see.
But there are softwares you can use where you put your link, your website, and it'll tell you all the pages that are linking in.
Okay.
The number of links is important, to have a lot of links, but also the quality of the link is important because you can buy links on Fiverr, like a dime a dozen.
Right.
And they're crappy links, and Google knows that, so that won't help you. It will actually hurt you. Another indication of a quality link would be that the website that is linking to yours is an older website. It's not something someone registered yesterday, but it's been there for a long time. And your outgoing links, you should also be pointing elsewhere. Most of us have the chamber. We're linking to the chamber, or to a certification, or some other thing. But it's like if you're in a BNI and everybody's referring to you, but you're not referring to anyone, they're going to kick you out. So Google feels that's you should also be recommended to other
So
sites.
if you have, on your site, you have, companies I work with, okay?
Sure.
Should you link
To
their
them?
website?
Yeah, as long as they're not your competition, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, yes, that helps too. And it's important to have a Google business profile, and we'll go through that in a while. So here is how you can measure your website to see if it's fast. You can go to gtmetrics.com, and you can type in your website, and it will actually give you, this is just the top of it, so this is mine, get a grade A. But it'll actually tell you how you perform, your structure, how long it takes to load, how fast it is. And if you scroll down, any issues that you have with your website, it'll tell you what they are and what you can do to fix them. So that's really cool. So here I have a 96, an 89 structure. Structure isn't that good, but here we have kids pedal power. That's 99 and 93, and it loads super fast. Like if this is over 1 second, you're dead. Like it has to be under 1 second. Anything over that, usually people say that's not loading. They try to refresh it and they go away.
What causes it to load slowly?
If you have images that aren't optimized, if you have too much code, some of the times when you have a WordPress site, you have a lot of plugins that are loading stuff that is unnecessary. So yeah, and it will tell you if you put it in.
Dave Ramsey's site takes forever to load.
Okay, yeah,
Like my back end,
that would hurt it,
Okay.
definitely. Then the citations, these are all directories, starting with Google, Google Maps, Apple. If you're getting all these phone calls like, you haven't been listed in Apple Voice, or yeah, is it? No, Amazon Voice. Yeah, so it's because you can get your listing. So there is a service called Yext. It's $1,000 a year, but it can get your business listed on all of this, right? So, and it's important. And the thing with you don't want to do it manually because first of all, you're not going to go to each one of these and change it. So when you do a service like Yext, you just go to one place, you put in your details, and it'll start syncing it to all the other ones. And if there is something that it can't sync automatically, it'll let you know. Like for example, I think in your case, Facebook has a different title or address than the Google My Business, I'm not sure. That one Yext can't sync because it's your page, your business page, but it would tell you. You have to change it so it matches. Let's see if we have, so this is, I don't know who they are, I just brought them up. So they have 61% inaccurate listings. So 56% of the places, their name is wrong, 61% their address is wrong, 56% the phone number is wrong. So that signals Google something's wrong with this business. And it also generates confusion with people because if I'm searching online and let's say this, whatever directory here, I don't know, 1 shows up before your website and they have the wrong phone number, hey, you're not going to get that call.
So is it that it's not necessarily wrong, but it's just formatted differently?
No, it could be a wrong number. No,
okay.
not even formatted. It's like here, these three are Bing, Facebook, and Yelp are fine.
Oh, okay.
Same
That's
address.
fine. That's why
Yeah,
I was
these
like
are
trying to
good.
Figure it out.
Further down, this is a big list.
So they have like.
They have all the ones that are wrong,
Okay,
and it
okay.
tells you what's wrong.
Okay.
You have to run a report to do
I
this.
didn't know because in some programs everything's so formatted. Like
Yeah. No, it's not the
exactly
formatting,
same
it's
stuff.
the content. Name, address, and
Is this
telephone.
on the GT metrics?
No, this isn't on GT Metrics. This is another thing I use to. It's harder. You have to pay for services to get these things. But if you want me to check it, I can check it for you for free. It's okay. And the incoming links, this is Ahrefs, I think. Like here's what I was telling you. You put your link in, your website in, and it tells you this one has 9,000 backlinks. 400 domains, different domains are linking. The C blocks and IPs, it means that you didn't register a bunch of domains with the same host, so you're not faking it, it's actually different ones. So the page link rank 11, domain. There's another report, not this one, that has actually the trust. A trust of around 30 is pretty good actually. So this one's actually really good. And the importance of the incoming links, there's a study that shows that depending on the number of domains that are referring to your site, you're going to get a better position on Google. So if you have 300 or more than 200, it's very likely you're going to be in position 1 and 2, right? That's where you want to be. There's a joke that they say that the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google.
Yeah.
Because no one goes there. So yeah. And that's not something you can do overnight. It's something building. You have to create pages, you have to create posts, and there's all types of, you can use press releases, you can do guest blogging, you can post in a bunch of different places and do it little by little. Don't buy it. If someone says, we'll get you 500 backlinks in a week, that's suspicious. Like, why would you have 500 backlinks from one week to the other? It's something you want to do ongoing every month. And then what I was talking about, the Google business profile, or have your Google business registered, it's the Google Map Pack. Google used to have like a couple of ads, then the organic, the free ones, and then at the end more ads. Now it has the Map Pack if it's something local. So they have their Google ads, they have the Map Pack, and then they have the organic. So this part is really, really important for a local business, because this is the highest you can show up without paying on Google, without paying Google on Google. And I'm almost done writing my book about this. So as soon as it's done, I'll send it over. Yeah. And this is the Map Pack basically. So it's so here I did landscape lighting on Gambros. This is the map, and you get 3 listings. Sometimes you get 4, where the first one is a paid one, but most of the times you get 3. These are free. But you have to optimize your Google. A lot of people call it Google My Business. That was the old term. Now it's Google Business Profile. So you can hear either GMB or GBP, same thing. But yeah, so this is, you go to, you can search Google My Business. And sometimes like Google creates the profile if it knows a business is local, and then you only have to claim it. Like there's like 20 steps that you have to do, like to claim it. They'll send you a postcard or give you a phone call, and then that proves that you own the business, and then they'll give you access to modify the information on that business profile, and we'll go through that. But depending on how you do it, this is a customer of ours. So he's number 2 on landscape lighting on Gambros, but the good thing is you can optimize it, and he's number 3 for drainage, and he's number 1 for garage floors. So the guy does a lot of different things, but he shows up. That's the important thing. We get almost 200 calls a month from this, from Google, and that's great because you don't have to pay them to get those calls. There's also sometimes Google certified services that are here at the top, depending on what your company does. You might be able to apply for that. That is paid, but it's on a paid per lead basis to Google. Usually they're 25 to 30 something, depending on what industry you're in. And it's nice because you only pay, you're not paying for the ads and not getting the results. You only get the charge when someone signs up or gives you a call. So what are the ranking factors for the maps? So what do you have to look after? First, you have to make sure your business category is the right category. There's a lot of times that we have the wrong category. You have to make sure. Okay, so this is a factor, but it's kind of out of your hands. Like if the keyword is in the name, so if you have plumber, if you want to show up as Oldsmar Plumber, but it's called, I don't know, Jim and Brothers, there's not much you can do. That's the name of the business. That's why some people name their business A1 Carpet Service, because back in the day they wanted to start first on the yellow pages, and so you have to have your keyword in the name. That helps. It's not that you have to change your business name. Proximity is really important, and I'll explain how that works. A link to other local pages helps also Google know that you're local to the area. Reviews, super important, and this is just like the summary. The collaterals you have in your Google My Business, and those are images, videos, posts, questions, and content in general. So let's look at each one. So the business category, in this case, like it's Asian restaurant, but you can have an additional category. So we're using bar, And you can add more as they correspond to your business, but make sure you have the right ones. A good way, what I find to do is look at competitors, or look at the competitors that show up in number 1, 2, and 3, and see what categories they're using, and maybe it's something you want to show up for. I use this plugin called GMB Everywhere. It's free. Or is it free? I think it's free. Or you get X number of searches free. And it's a plugin on Google, so when you search, it actually gives you this information, additional. So in this case, it says GMB category, construction company, bathroom remodeler, contractor, countertop store. And it's not that you can put whatever you want in there. It has to be one of their categories, but by looking at them, so construction company. If I'm a contractor in Orlando, I might want to use construction company. And then it has a bunch of other things that lets you review different things from the Google profile. Proximity is super important. So this is a map for a business. I don't remember what business this was. But usually, so depending where I'm searching on my phone, it'll favor the closest business I'm searching for. So this software, what it does is analyzes your business based on where it's located on the map. So if you're in the store, basically, yeah, you're going to show up as number 1. And sometimes some guy will sell you, oh, I'm going to optimize your GMB. Look, here it is. You're number 1. But yeah, you're in your store. You're going to be number 1. But if you move out, like a couple blocks away, he's number 8. 8, 12, 13, 17, 20 plus. All the red ones, 20 plus, 9 plus. And obviously there's only 3 in the map pack. So you want to be in the top 3. So through optimizing, and you can expand your reach, and you can get something like this. This is our client again. So he's Gambros, Bowie, here, 1, 1, 2, 3. So all these are good. The ones in the water, I don't know if they're helpful. This one's still good, but so for Baltimore, we still have to work a little bit. But he's still top 10 most, but the top 3 are the most important. The rest really don't matter because it only shows 3. But that's the proximity, and there are things you can do when you're optimizing your profile, when you're adding the description, letting Google know where your service areas are. It will help show up better. That's incredible. There's still businesses that haven't claimed their Google My Business, so yeah, that's surprising. And there's so many more that haven't optimized it. So it's pretty easy for a company. Like the things I'm talking about today are the basics you can do, like fixing your title, your description, your H1. If you're on page 2, 3, something, that alone will give you a little boost. If you optimize your Google My Business with the right category, description, images, that'll give you a boost too. The link to your optimized website. Some businesses, I don't know why some businesses that have a website don't have their website on Google My Business, so they're not linking out, or Google isn't linking. So this is a direct link from Google to your website, so this gives authority to your website too. It's also important to keep that in mind. And reviews. So reviews are super, super important. Like, you should always be asking for reviews if you did a good job, obviously. They're not only important for Google. For Google, the more reviews you have, the better, because it's more trust to your business. But also, like they're looking at the recency of the reviews and the quality of the reviews. So like this guy's really bad, 3.7 and only 3 reviews. Like, he's probably here, but there aren't any other roofers. This one is, if you look at these two, so who would you do business with? This one's 4.7 stars, 4.4. But in 10 years, he only has 8 reviews. And the other one up there has 102 reviews. So the weight of his reviews it's greater. So yeah, always, there's different ways how you can do it. You can have a QR code. And like you should, at the end of the zip line, hey, did you enjoy the experience? Yep. Okay. Do you mind scanning this and leaving a review?
Yeah, we actually give all of our parties like a review card with the QR code on it, a space for the guides to write their names on it. So
okay.
The guides can be mentioned. So we have like over 3,000 so.
Awesome. Yeah. And if you're,
It helps a lot.
It helps a lot, and if you can get them to do it right there and then, it helps even more. Because a lot of people lose it or forget afterwards. It's not that people don't, the big issue with reviews is that you're most likely gonna get bad reviews because people are, when they're mad, they'll leave a bad review. But when they're happy, they forget to leave a good review. So it's just a matter of reminding them. There are some softwares that offer a review gate where it says, okay, they send you an email, how was your experience, good or bad? And if you click on bad, it'll send you to a form and, oh, we're so sorry to hear that, please let us know what we can do to improve it. If it says good, it'll send you to Google. If Google finds out, they'll penalize that because you're basically blocking the bad reviews from showing up on Google. So don't do that. It's crazy, that's been up for years now, probably 5 years, and there's still people doing that. And software that does it, and they sell it, yeah, I don't know. It's risky, I wouldn't do it. But definitely get reviews. In the collaterals, this is what a lot of people forget. Restaurants are really good because they get a lot of pictures from people snapping their food. But you can upload pictures too, yourself, of what your service, of people eating or playing or doing whatever with you.
That's one of the things I kind of offer with my business when they book me for headshots. It's like, well, do you want me to take stock photos of your business for you to upload to your Google?
That's important. And so you have the ones that you upload, the ones that people upload. And there's a little trick, but I can't teach you how to do it because it's kind of complicated. But when you take a picture nowadays, your pictures are geotagged. So if you actually, with Apple, if you click on the picture and swipe it up, it'll show you where you took it. But there are ways to modify that. So you can grab all your pictures and you can say, okay, I'll tag them for Oldsmar. And I'm servicing West Chase, so this group of pictures I'll tag for West Chase. And Google looks at that. And also the name of your picture, so if you put cutting a tree in Oldsmar, much better. Simple stuff like that, right, can help you with your ranking. And then you have another thing a lot of people miss, questions and answers. Usually it's people who ask questions for your business. What most businesses don't know is that you can ask questions for your business. So you could grab your top 10 most frequent asked questions and put them there. And you can answer them yourself. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt. You're not going to be penalized. So look at that. And then the bottom part that's not shown there are the posts. And I probably wanted to write that down. You can create posts and offers on your Google My Business, and you should post every now and then, kind of like with any other social media. But you can put a picture, a video, a description, and that's going to show up there, and that shows there's activity with the business. It's not like a dead business. Let's see, what else? Okay, and finally, and probably I'm going to be short on time, but we can do a lot of questions, is how to maximize your conversions. So you're getting these conversions from Google or from Bing or Yahoo, wherever you're getting them from, and you want to maximize your results get the biggest bang for your buck. So on your website, you really want to have a high converting website. One thing you definitely want to have is on your website have your phone number and make sure it's clickable. 80% of people are working on their phone. So if the phone number is at the top and you can tap on it, they can call you right there and then. That's a good one. Have your address and your email at the top too. I didn't put any pictures, but yours is good because you have that button with the phone number at the top. Also, you want to have a contact form on your page, on your main page, where people can reach out to you, and Google sees that also as something good. But if you don't have a contact form, sometimes people don't want to speak on the phone. They don't want to talk to a salesperson, so they want to write an email and send it out. It's funny because and the higher you have it, the better, depending on if it's your main page or your landing page. But even if it's like a page for a specific service, you want to have it as high as possible. So it's called above the fold. So let's say here's your page, logo, phone number, and it's all long, but above the fold is the part that you'd see on your screen. there was this, a friend of mine was consulting with, it's actually not consulting, he was doing like a preview date with this company that they were selling baseball outfits. And they had their contact form all the way at the bottom. And the funny thing is that he was like, okay, so right now, something I can tell you right now is if you bring the contact form to the top, you're probably going to double or triple your sales. Never heard back from them. So he didn't consult in the end. But they did that, and they sold a lot more. So bringing your contact form up, it helps a lot. Having a lead capture device, you could think it's the same thing, a contact and a lead capture, but a lead capture is kind of a bribe to have them give you their information. So if you have, I don't know, a report or a coupon or something special, for,
PDF or something.
it could be a PDF, yeah. So with Jay Goody, they have their VIP club where you get the emails with special offers, discounts and stuff in your email. So that's one, that way that you know, like you can tell them you're going to be the first one to hear about our offers and our specials. And we do these events that get packed pretty fast. So you'll be on the first dibs to sign up for the event. Stuff like that. So that's a lead capture. And your list is everything. I can't insist, enough on that. Because if you are running ads, and I've run ads for years and years and years, and that was my main thing, it's cool. You flip a switch and you start getting ads. This stuff, it takes time. But the good thing with this is that once it's there, you can't stop it. Like with ads, you turn the switch off, you don't spend any more, you don't get any more leads. With this, tomorrow you don't do anything and you're still going to get the traffic. You're still going to get people asking stuff. And that's why sometimes people buy websites of competitors that close. Sometimes you don't have to buy your competitor's business. You can only buy their website. If they had a high traffic website, you can buy that and you're going to get that traffic into yours. So that's a little trick there. But your list, if there's a slow week or something's going on, you just send an email to your list. Hey, we having this 2-for-1 special this weekend. Come on over and boom, you got traffic. Otherwise, spending and the time, production, etc., takes a lot. So your list, no matter if you're getting stuff from social media or from billboards or from anywhere, it's always important to build a list. Restaurants, they have these little fish bowls with business cards. The sad thing is that most of the time they don't do anything with them. They just throw them away or they put them in a box and they pick the winner for the month and that's it. But if you actually use that list and nurture it and send them offers, people sometimes just forget. It's not that they don't like you. It's like, oh yeah, I haven't been to Mother's in a while. And oh, they have this lobster. Contact list. Contact list. Yeah. So
Contrary to public opinion, email is not dead.
it's not dead at all.
Not at all.
If you can build email and phone, even better. I mean, the more information you have, the better. But
I was in talked about that marketing thing I was in this last week, and they're highly recommending on your contact form, even if it's just the first name and an email, to add the phone number.
Yes.
Is that,
it will, technically the more stuff you ask, the less people fill it out.
Right.
Some people just ask for the email. I like to ask for the name and email because I like to personalize the emails.
Right.
But phone is good. But you can do different things. Like a friend of mine, what he was doing like a survey. And what he was doing, okay, so let's say, are you having issues with the drainage in your backyard? Have you checked your foundations? Is this the first time this happens? With surveys, there are tricks like you want the first few questions just to be yes, no, to get them going.
Oh, yeah.
Once they're on the third question, they said yes, no, then you can ask something a little bit more because they're a little bit committed to that, Cialdini. So then you can ask them, okay, do you want to fix this issue because of 5 things, right? And that's the moment with the survey, you can use that to inject things that they might not have thought about. You want to fix it because you want to enjoy your garden, or because you're afraid that you'll have to fix the foundations of your house, or because you have mold in your attic. And like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Or all of the above. And most people go with all the above. Do you want to work with us because we have 10 years of experience, we have a money-back guarantee, and then you're giving them all your benefits that they might not have known But so you're educating them with the survey, and then you say, okay, do you want to receive your information by text or by text and email? That's how we changed it.
Text and email. Oh, okay.
That way, but because it's a survey, by the time you get to the give me your details, they're involved enough into it. So people can say, he doesn't let them not give him their phone number.
Okay.
But that's a choice kind of thing. Most common it's just an email. But it is important. Build that list, keep it. You reply to people. You get your people from the form, they fill it out, and she receives an email saying so-and-so asked for information, and here's what they asked for. Now the thing is that unless she sends an email from Google, she doesn't have like a CRM where she can say, oh, Rich isn't doing anything this week. We have 5 spots to something, maintenance or free checkup or something that will lead to more business, and blast it to everyone. I'm working with Jay Goody Cafe, and she had a Word document full of emails. It's basically having a box full of business cards. You're not doing anything with them. So you should have some way of following up with them.
That's fun, because I've got a guy that I work with that is helping me with some promotion. We have a music and entertainment business.
Right.
His comment, his feeling is that Facebook and Instagram, things like that, are a better outlet for promoting us as opposed to email. As opposed to a website. And I'm like, really? And I'm just trying to figure out. I'm not an expert at this stuff, and I'm trying to figure it out, and what's the best way for us to promote ourselves. Because we have a website, and it's put together pretty well and stuff like that. I'm going to do some of the things that you've talked about. But what are your thoughts on something like that?
Social media is good because it's in front of people. So there's 2 ways of looking at it, and depends on social media, like Google, your website and your Google My Business is super important because people go there if they have a buyer intent. They're looking to hire someone for this party, or they're looking to do something over the weekend, or they're looking to have someone fix their pool. Social media is more like a magazine where you're browsing and, oh, here's an ad for this thing. Okay. Here's an ad for this other thing. And unless it really catches your eye, it's not going to do much. I mean, I've run Facebook ads for 8 years, and we count on a certain percent, at least 1% of people who see our ads to click on it. But that means you're spending all this money, and you have to do all your math and make sure it's worth your time. But social media alone, without paying for ads, it's very limited, I think, because Facebook wants you to spend money with them. So you used to get, like, if you posted something on your Facebook page, 20-something% of people would see what you posted. Now it's more like 3% of people see it. So you have to be posting multiple times to get that 3% several times during the day, and then you can get like 10-15%. If you get something interesting that people will share, great. But it's really hard to purposely making something viral. Like, there are steps you can follow, but in the end, it's like if someone picks it up, if you get this news channel to pick it up and show it on the TV, then everybody's going to start seeing it. And it's a bomb, it's great, but you can't count on that as a business plan.
What about Messenger?
Messenger is great. I mean, if you can have people message you, basically you're building a list of Messenger contacts.
So it's similar to email then?
It's similar to email, yeah, definitely.
So with something like his business, if they're going to use this as an example, if they're going to be performing that second Friday. You know what, we're going to be at second Friday in Ellsworth
Right.
this weekend. Come out and listen to us.
Yeah, I'm not saying don't do it. Social media.
Oh, through social media?
Yeah, I'm not saying,
Yeah,
I'm not saying don't do it. Definitely do it.
Yeah, we do that.
And make sure you're tagging the event, you're using a hashtag, so more people see it. And whoever your closest followers and friends and fans are, tell them please share it. Share. That's the key. Because
Using it in tandem, using the website and
Right.
social media, because what we do is we use the social media to stay in front of our in front of our folks and stuff like that. And then a lot of times when people are looking for, and that also drives to our website, but when people are looking for zip lining in Tampa Bay or whatever, they might find it, but then a lot of times they go to the social media to
check
look
it out,
at the
yeah.
pictures and stuff like that, and see if it is
Right,
where they want to go, kind of thing.
Right,
So
you don't-
it kind of uses it in tandem.
yes,
Eric was telling you that, you know, to tag certain people. There's times that I go to a morning mingle with the chamber and everything, and I always tag, you know, I'm up with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber, and when I started doing that for the mingles or whatever I'm doing pictures for, it drives a lot more people to my Facebook page, and I get, you know, a lot more interaction with people.
Yeah.
They may be following the chamber, but not you.
Yeah,
Like, if
they're
they
following the
see,
chamber, yeah, and so they kind of
Like, oh, the
visit
chamber's
me
tagging
through the
this.
back through the back door.
right.
And then to go on to that, like I'll get Amy's and then I'll share it on my Facebook because I happen to be there
Right.
too. She happened to
She's a
post
friend
it.
of mine on my.
So, yeah, so we're, even the chamber, you know, stuff.
Right. Share it.
You'll notice I'm always sharing the chamber stuff.
Just don't tag people who aren't expecting to be tagged.
Yes.
Like I sometimes I see someone posted and he's with 20 people and I'm tagged there and like, I don't even know what the hell he's doing. Why did he tag me? And I untag myself. And sometimes if I'm in a bad mood, I'll report him. But if you tag the chamber, that's very natural. Like, okay, I usually do a post and we do this, and at the bottom time we're a proud member of the chamber, and I make sure that that's tagged as the chamber. And the difference between the tag and the hashtag is that the tag takes you to the chamber Facebook page. The hashtag is just a mention. It helps too, but yeah, there's a lot to do. It is sometimes can be, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It can be overwhelming.
Yeah, you can't, yeah. The important thing is that you do something, because if you try to do everything, you get overwhelmed and then you don't do anything. So, yeah.
Baby steps.
Yep, exactly. Then obviously, fast loading website is going to help with your conversion, because if it's not fast enough, people won't stay on it long enough, and they won't do business with you.
Real quick, are the testimonials, like, that's different than reviews, correct?
Testimonials, reviews, same thing.
Yeah, but
Like
there's like almost like a testimonial page or whatever.
you
It's
could,
apps.
like
I've seen somewhere that like scroll through.
those usually are the reviews. I call them reviews, testimonials interchangeably.
Yeah.
I pull them in automatically from Google. So as soon as there are any new ones, they'll show up there on the page.
Okay.
Mobile friendly, obviously. And then how you handle your leads is super, super important. Always, 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 always follow up. Super important. If you don't follow up fast. Be persistent, so follow up as many times. Sometimes people say, how long should I follow up? Until they're dead, or they tell you to stop bothering them. That's the answer. And follow up, if possible, through multiple channels. Here are some statistics. 80% of sales require at least 5 follow-ups after the initial contact, but 45% of salespeople give after the first one. So imagine all the sales that I lost. 44 stop following up after 1 rejection, 2 rejections, 3. 8% follow up after 5. So it's very little. But those are the guys that are getting all the huge commissions and sales and all the prizes. And the speed of the follow-up, super important too. The more time passes, like this is the number of calls that will turn into a qualified lead if you follow up in 5 minutes, and this is how much it drops in time. And if you let it go a couple of days, then they'll tell you they don't even know who you are and why are you messing with them.
Hired somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and most of the businesses, if they're looking around, they're checking up with different places, they'll usually hire the first one that calls back.
Yep.
So that's really important too. We do this follow-up, we call it the Fast 5. So people come in through here, up there, either from a Facebook lead form or something. We tag them, we notify in my case, I get notified, or the salespeople get notified if it's for a customer. Then we send the person immediately an email confirming we just received your request. you'll be reached by the office in a few minutes. We send them a text message too, just in case. We don't know if the phone they gave us is a landline or a cell phone, but we'll try to send it anyways. Then we wait a minute, and then here we're checking if it's business hours or not. If it's business hours, our system, what it does is automatically calls the sales guy and says, it has a whisper message, says, John's interested in drainage. Press 1, they press 1 and it'll connect them automatically. So in the first 5 minutes, they've got a text message, an email, and a phone call, if possible. And that's how you convert more. And then if it's not during work hours, we just send them an email and wait 1 day, another email, wait 1 day, another email, wait 1 day, another email, and keep on doing that as long as possible. And this is like the first, like this one actually only has 5 emails, but this customer emails them twice a week. He does he has his show called A Day in the Life of a Contractor. These emails on Monday, and then he has his Ask Bob Carr show on Wednesdays. So he's sending everyone those 2 emails too. We set up this in our CRM too. It's called a missed call text back. So if someone calls and the phone is either busy, they get voicemail, or we didn't pick it up, it'll wait a few seconds and it'll text them back and say, hey, sorry, we noticed you called. How can we help you? That way you're trying to find out as many ways as possible, as automated as possible, to follow up fast. And then, I mean, obviously you don't want to say, okay, this will do everything, I'm never going to call anyone. No, this is just in the interim.
People think that.
Huh? People think that.
I'm pretty much, some of this stuff I'm over already. Because I'm just still old school, I can trace this and
Right.
I'd rather pick up the phone.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't.
But the thing about it, I will send an email, or people send me emails, right?
Right.
And I get so many emails a day. And then, well, I sent you an email last week. Well, was that a point why you just didn't call me and let me know? But everybody gets hung up on the email.
Yeah.
And don't want to talk to nobody.
Right.
You know, I haven't gotten to that point yet, because I pick up the phone all the time.
Yeah. This one in this case, it's because we're generating the leads on Facebook actually.
Right.
So people are filling out a form, and then we get they could pick up the phone and call the office, but since they're not,
I want to know what's the transition from phone to email. Who's more successful these days? People who email people, or old school?
Old school. Old school. Yeah, that's why we do this. Like if it's, I mean, they get the email, the text message, and 1 minute later, they're getting a phone call. Now, I'm not depending, because the sales people get notified, this lead just came in, but I'm not depending on them. I'm saying, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to call them. I have the system call the salesperson, and then just press 1 to connect.
Right.
That because we had, with this customer specifically, we had a sales guy that my customer was complaining, like, look, we haven't had any leads, the leads are crap, nothing's coming through. And it's like, you got like 10 leads last Friday. And we called the sales guy, oh yeah, I wasn't feeling well on Friday. This was on Monday. I was gonna reach out to them tomorrow, and this was on a Monday. So it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. He's gonna reach out 5 days later. Yeah, it's over.
I think going back to like the email or phone, I think it depends on the generation.
True.
I am in the younger generation.
Yeah.
Here. I can, like,
Or text message.
if I can find the information I need without having to call somebody, that is where I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
For a lot of my stuff. And I know a lot of people that I work with that are also younger than I am, that they're the same way. If they can avoid calling and actually talking to somebody.
Yes, right.
But the important thing is that you get all the messages.
Right.
Like what our CRM, what it does, it connects to everything. Connects to Facebook, to Instagram, to Google My Business, to your email, and to the phone. So I have on my app, no matter where the message came in, I'm getting it in one place. And from that one place, I can message them back. That's basically. And then, oh, and obviously, don't forget offline, but nowadays you can automate that too. So at some point I can, from my CRM, I can send a zap over to these guys, thanks.io, and they'll actually create a handwritten postcard, or letter. They do several things, letters, postcards, note cards, they actually do gift cards. So you can send a $5 or $10 Starbucks gift card, and they won't charge you until the person activates it, which is nice. And the postcards you got one of the Christmas postcards, have a little QR code, and it's tracking the code, so if when someone scans it, you can get something, you could actually be notified and say, hey, I saw you scanned our QR code, how are you doing today, and blah, blah, blah. So it's not that everything is either social media or digital, it's like how you can make the most out of the automatic stuff, but don't forget the old school stuff. Snail mail is big. Like everybody stopped doing that because it's too expensive, people don't read their mail, but people do, now they appreciate it more because they're not getting that much.
Well, they can say people don't read the emails either.
A lot of people say, yeah,
So overwhelming, you get so much junk
yeah,
that.
Then you open it and you got all these bugs in it and no.
Yeah.
right, yeah.
You don't know
I was telling
Right.
Sam that today my wife sent me a message like someone created a Facebook profile with my name, picture, and everything, and was promoting the crypto thing. I was like, okay, yep. I mean, the only thing I can do is report it, but that's it. Yeah, so I say old school, but I mean it works. So phone call works all the time. This postcards work. There's the flat rate zip code postcards you can do too. In your case, I mean, you could even it's manual, but you can go in the chamber and get all the restaurants from the chamber and send them a postcard and offer your services, right? Or pick up the phone and call them. Look, are you doing any live entertainment in your restaurant? Or you can do everything.
We've done that kind of thing, and we found it's best to just go visit them.
Yeah.
We rush the flash.
Right,
There's still a lot of that.
right.
It's amazing how much,
But the resources are there. I mean, on the chamber website, you can log in and find all the restaurants.
amazing how much postcards and direct mail is doing.
I'm getting a lot of dinner invitations for,
Yeah, me too.
lately.
They work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free meal.
When you talk to Jason over at Express Oil, it's how much,
Yeah.
you know, the discounts and everything that they put through on that, and you know, he'll tell you a lot of it's not really that big of a discount.
Right.
But it gets people in the door because they think it is.
Yeah, it's the appearance of value that counts. And that's basically it. If you need help, my QR code and the website. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to.
So I have one. So
Sure.
my website is one thing, but it's a company name, but then I do business ads. So how do I optimize that? So the company is Sam and Rita Live, LLC. And doing business ads, Alive and Peace Coaching.
There's different ways you can do that. I mean, like even like some companies have the issue that they're franchises and they depend on the main franchise's website. They can't run ads or content or anything else. You can build a second website. Like, and for exactly what you're saying,
Okay.
I actually did this one for me, I think.
I'll send it to you.
Blazing
I
fast.
gotta go, I got an appointment. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, see you. So I have my main website and I have this website. But I know that this page I can rank too, right?
Okay.
Specific. So on your website, it's not that you only have one, you can have a one-page website, but usually you're gonna build more pages to rank in the greater area or in different services. Like you would want to have a page for weddings, page for other type of events, a page for restaurants. And again, it takes time and it's a slow process, but eventually someone's gonna search for wedding singer and it's gonna show up. Because people are looking for specifically what they want, right? Like this one's super basic, like this is
that your website now?
this is just my page on my, some testimonials, you're there.
You mean to go, let's grow together?
Pardon me?
Enter.
Oops.
Back up.
Yep, I got it. I'm just pretending I didn't see it. But yeah, thank you for showing. That's why you need someone to proofread your stuff. But the main website is basically that. Still epic. The other one's just Richard. And this is what I meant with the clickable phone number, clickable email, address. I have a pop-up there. So yeah, and that's all I had. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? So how many,
I'm gonna get together with
Sure.
how many of you book stuff on the calendar?
I sent you a book, I think, of gigs. I sent it to you a few months ago, because we spoke during didn't we speak during the Jolly Trolley thing, with the chamber?
Oh gosh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, and then after that, I found a book on all the paid musical gigs in the U.S., something like that, but I think I said, yeah.
So if you book on the calendar, so most of yours are come fix something or got a complaint, right?
Yeah.
No meetings.
Huh?
Mostly board.
Mostly board meetings? Okay. What do you get on, if people are clicking on the calendar?
Not a whole lot. I don't have a calendar on the website, which is something that I need to figure out how to get a calendar on the website. What we do is we go up and just put,
Oh, just use a scheduling app. Use,
Calendly.
Calendly is free if you just have one event scheduled. It's free.
because what I'd like to do, because I use Wix. Wix is what I use to build my site, and what I'd like to be able to do is just have a regular looking calendar. And just be, okay, we got a gig at Whiskey Wings, Whiskey Wings, and have it be there. And I don't have that capability.
Right, what you do with Calendly is you connect it to your Google Calendar, and that's where you have all your appointments. And then when someone loads the Calendly, it'll only show your available spots.
I regress. I've done Google Calendar.
Sure.
I'm back to write down but I can't remember.
But one of the things that came up in our meeting the other day, we were talking, and it has to do with the sales side of it. And almost all of us on the call use a booking calendar.
Yeah, here it is. So I'm very biased because this is my CRM, but my calendar is hooked up to the CRM, to the email list, to the text, to automations, to everything. So it's all, you don't have to use Zapier or anything like that. But that's it, basically. Here's Generate Customers on Demand. There's the date, there's the time, and people just select it. And yeah, and go on. And then you just enter your details and boom, and you're booked, and then the system automatically sends the reminders and links and all the good stuff.
And almost all the calendar setups are like that.
Yeah.
Here's something to think about. Especially if you're sales, you're trying to generate sales and move forward with it. So somebody schedules, and I get this all the time with the Ramsey stuff. They'll schedule 3-4 days out.
Yeah.
And I would follow up with a text and an email because that's, number one, that's what Ramsey
Recommends,
right? So here's the thing. What came up in our conversation the other day is give it a minute, get back to your minute and say, hey, Joe, this is Sam with Ramsey Solutions. I saw that you just booked a time. I know that, but what you don't have is my personal cell phone number. Okay, because the number I use is a business number. But I want to make sure that we're going to be able to connect, and here's my cell phone number, and you have a few minutes we can, prep for the call. What that does is they don't forget about the next call. And so there's just some little tweaks there when it comes to the sales side of it.
Yeah, and you can do that like with any phone nowadays. I mean, you can record the voice message and send it. You can actually record a video. Hey, I saw you just booked an appointment. I'm so excited to work with you. Hope to see you next Tuesday. Boom.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much time. I mean,